Barbie!
Hey! Good to see you, Tony.
Nice
Thank you.
to see you.
Thank you so much for having...
Taga-Capiz ka pala.
Yeah, Rock City. Capiz, yeah.
Pag taga-Capiz, ano yun? Ang dialect, Bisaya? Or
It's Hiligaynon. That's what we call it.
hanggang ngayon, kaya mo magsalita ng
Oo,
straight?
of course.
Let's say, halimbawa,
Mayong aga sa atong tanan. Madamog ka salamat, Tony.
years, music industry.
Yeah.
So, nag-start ka in the music industry.
I've had bands since
Yeah.
like late high school. Pero like yung album namin lumabas 97.
Oh my
So,
gosh,
yeah,
97! Yes, yan yung
Yeah.
mga high school days. Nabasa ko, nagsusulat ka ng songs, 14 years old ka.
Yeah. Oh.
So, nung nagsusulat ka ng mga songs, dialect nyo or
Well,
English?
sadly, during, yun nga, growing up, parang wala masyado akong naririnig na songs in Hiligay noon, you know, on the radio, walang pop music na ganun. So, English yung
Mga sinusulat mo.
napapakinggan kong songs.
So, ano ang mga musical influences mo no, nung 14 ka?
Well, yung musical influences ko was my family, kung ano man yung tinutugtog ng family ko. Well, my mom was into the Beatles, mga ganyan. But, yeah, may church choir sila, yung lola ko, lolo ko, mom ko. So, laging may music sa bahay. So, it was
So ang family, ang mom side, ang musically inclined.
musically inclined. Yeah, they all, nagsusulat sila ng songs din para sa church, ganun. My lola's brother is a priest who wrote Pananagutan. Yung,
Oo.
Ayun.
Paano yung pananagutan?
yung tayong lahat ay
Pananagutan sa
Alam mo yun,
isa't isa.
Tayong lahat ay
Tinipon ng Diyos.
Nakapiling niya. Yan. That's my lola's brother, si Father Ontiveros.
So, nasa family talaga. Ang galing nun ah.
Yun nga, it wasn't even music. It wasn't even a certain kind of music that got me into, you know, it was really just the instrument. Parang I learned to play the guitar, I learned to play the piano.
At what age? Nag-gitar ka na?
11 ako nag-start. My lola and my mom.
Ano mga topic ng mga sinusulat mo nung 14 ka?
Hindi ko na maalala eh. Pero during that time, wagawa ako ng mga tape eh. Parang kunwari may album din ako. Kunwari, gano'n. Nire-record ko sa bahay. My parents were really supportive. Like,
Pero yung time na yon na nagsusulat ka na, kumakanta ka na, musical influences mo nun, like,
time na yun, rock na, glam rock actually. Like bands like Guns N' Roses, Skid Row, Bon Jovi, mga
rockstar
gano'n.
talaga.
Doon ako na-in-love sa music. Before kasi parang na-in-love ako sa guitar. Parang kahit ano tutugtugin ko basta magigitara ako. Pero hindi ko masabi na I love music in general. You know, I just love playing guitar.
Na in love ka sa music, musical influences, finally pumunta ka ng Manila, you studied in LaSalle.
Yeah,
You
I studied business management.
Okay.
I was in school, in accounting class. Of course, I wasn't listening. I was writing a song in class.
The usual, mga artists, di ba nakikinig sa school?
Tapos yun nga, yung katabi ko, napansin niya na yun nga, I was writing a song. Tapos he introduced himself, sabi niya may banda daw siya. Tapos through him, I got to meet my band, yung naging bandmates ko sa Hungry Young Poets.
Ano yung music nyo when you started it?
So when I met them, especially Ricky, si Franklin came in a bit later. So I had my songs na, di ba, from high school, and dami ko sinusulat. So yun, he was the one who really helped me put it together na in-arrange. Yung kanta na magmukha siyang, kumbaga
Legit na song.
Magmukha na siyang totoo. Wow, mga totoo na to. Gumawa kami ng demo tapes, pinadala namin sa mga record labels.
Wala kasing YouTube noon. So kung meron kang song, hindi yung katulad ngayon, you can just put it on Spotify, on YouTube. Dati, talagang kakararin mo yan. Pupunta ka sa mga record label. Demo tape.
Demo tape.
Ganun talaga
Walang pumunsin
yun.
sa demos namin. Pero, ang nag-start kaming tumugtog sa bars. Like, Ricky had another gig with Jet Pangan Group. So, Jet Pangan at the time, diba, is with the Dawn, but he had a solo
career.
Solo career at the time. So he was so kind. He would let me be his intermission number. A guy who was opening another bar. It's called Freedom Bar. So he asked me, di ba Monday night, slowest night, is like, you want to have a gig in my bar? every Monday. Like that. So
Parang practice.
Yeah, parang, yeah. And then a couple of months later, yung Eraserheads tumugtog doon. So nag-open kami sa kanila.
Eh di na, ano ka, starstruck ka, Eraserheads. Kasi
Oo.
E-heads nung time na yun,
Oh,
grabe.
super, yeah. Oh, but, you know, they're down to earth, these guys. So when you meet them backstage, they're very kind and, yeah. So doon na, since we got to open for them, for E-heads and other bands, yung mga label heads na, kasi sila, di ba, meron na silang label, napapanood din kami kasi nga nag-open kami for them. And that's where we got our first meeting with Sony. And we
Kamusta
made an
yung
album.
release ng first album?
Feel like everything that was happening just happened so fast to me na parang bigla na lang yun nga, we were signed na parang hindi ko pa nakikita yung meaning niya. Yun nga, hindi ko siya dream. Pero nung nangyari na siya, yun nga, naging busy na, may mga bar tour na, may mga mall tour, may mga gigs na out of
Concert,
town,
shows.
mga ganyan. So, this was fun. But at the same time, siguro wala rin akong nag-guide sa akin.
Eh, syempre, rockstar lifestyle yun, banda.
Oo.
Gigs every night.
Gigs every
So,
night.
kapag banda, inuman.
Late. Yeah, syempre you work in the bar, right? So, that's...
Yeah, and you were like Barbie Almalbis, the cool girl at that time. From Hungry Young Poets, biglang Barbie's Cradle na, di ba? Tapos wala, everything blew up na. Sunod-sunod na yun.
Yeah, yeah.
The shows, the radio plays ng mga songs,
Yeah, it
gigs.
was just, yeah, everything just happened.
But 19 years old, you got depressed? As in diagnosed?
No. Well, at the time, wala naman masyado
Walang diagnosis.
nag-diagnosis nun
Walang
eh.
therapist, psychologist. I mean,
Wala.
there is, pero hindi
Yeah,
siya openly.
It wasn't, yeah.
During the 90s and late 90s, walang
Sariling
ganun.
ano lang yun.
Sariling sikap. Paano ka makakasurvive
Yung mental
dito?
health mo, oo.
Kanya-kanyang survival to.
Yes.
So, you describe that era as a dark phase in your life.
Yeah, it must be the darkest. Like, you know, some people won't even like, they think that, you know, I must be living the dream. I was in school and I had this successful,
Making
somehow.
money.
Yeah, I'm earning na, ganyan. And then so they're like, but when they get to know me, parang, why are you so sad? Parang, why are you so insecure? Why are you so,
You were
know,
sad?
Oh yeah, I was really down. Parang,
Nung time na height ng career mo, you were sad.
somewhere there in the middle. Like, yeah, after a few years. Because I feel like,
What was the feeling? Bakit sad?
I felt like music was the only thing I really enjoyed, like what I wanted to do, and came to a point na even music couldn't make me happy, di ba? Parang ano pa ba, you know? But it was really brought about, but like what you said earlier, di ba? Yung lifestyle ng
Rock and roll.
ng rock and roll, like, you know, it took me a couple of years nga to realize that na, yun nga, that there's that void in my heart that success couldn't fill. So I said, maybe more of this, more of that, ganyan. Even, relationships, one after the other na parang hindi nag-work. The more that I tried to fill that void in my heart with these things, the more the void, the emptier I felt.
The bigger the void.
Yeah, the bigger the void, exactly. So I was really lost. I also was very confused about what I believed in. Kasi college philosophy class, like, you know, nagulong-gulo na ako kasi kung ano-anong mga iba-ibang beliefs na in-entertain ko kasi nga, yun I was exploring during that time. So I was really down and I just said to God, I prayed. I didn't even know if I believed in God at that point, but I was like, God, I don't know if you're real, but if, you know, you can hear me, if you're really real, I desperately need you. You know, parang just let me know if you're real.
You prayed that prayer kasi?
I prayed that prayer because I was really down and desperate and hindi ko na alam ano pa bang, yun nga, I couldn't make myself happy anymore. And even music that I loved, I would hold my guitar and play, but wala nothing could pick me up, you know, from, before I was up and down, but at one point it was just down.
So after you prayed?
So after I prayed, so I already had friends actually who were sharing with me about, I mean, like I said, my family was, you know, always serving in church. So alam ko na to, yung information na to about God, about Jesus, but it's just that hindi ko lang siya talagang, I lived my own way, you know. But at that point, I had some friends who were telling me na, no, God is real. And I was really like, at that time, nag-argue talaga ako na hindi totoo yan. I was really, ginagamit ko lang kung ano yung tingin ko, yung logic ko kung ano yung tama. Anyway, but you know, my friend, like, si Corinne yun, she's a good friend of mine. She gave me a student Bible. It's a big Bible. So I started reading it. I saw this verse that said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Kasi yun nga, I couldn't believe in Him, right? And I wanted something So when I saw that verse, nakita ko na why I can't see him. Sabi ko, parang biglang nag-highlight. Alam ko na kasi lahat ng pinanggagawa ko na I didn't care for anything. I just wanted to just follow my heart. So alam ko, ayaw ni God to, ayaw ni God. Go lang nang go. So it's like, okay, now I know why I can't see God. My heart isn't pure, you know. So yeah, I went down and I was on the floor already, but I went down. I was on my knees, and then I just sat there in my room. I just prayed. I surrendered to Him. I said na, you know, I've tried it my way, and this is where I am. Parang, I want to do it your way now. Parang, I want to follow you. Ganyan. And I was in my room crying, and then started talking to my mom, opening up to my mom about the struggles that I had been facing. Parang, every day, pag ano nababasa ko sa Bible, tinatry kong sundin, di ba? I try to, you know, with His help, parang started to change my life little by little. And not alone. I had friends helping me out. I had a Bible study na ganyan. And yeah, talagang, it was amazing. It was really fast. Parang unti-unti nawawala yung ano. Parang,
bigat.
Parang yung bigat nawawala. Every Sunday nga parang gino-joke na ako ng friends ko sa church. Kasi every Sunday umiiyak ako sa church. Umiiyak ka na naman. Umiiyak. Every Sunday pag may preaching, feeling ko ako yung kinakausap. Grabe yung iyak ko. I was like that, like every Sunday. It was like, you know, for more than a year. It was like God was doing a work. Cleansing a lot of... And I couldn't stop telling my friends because like my friends were also rock and roll with me, you know. All this time we think we could find, you know, this life in, you know, partying and relationships ganun. But yun nga, it's God. It's really dun. Siya pala all along yung hinahanap ko. Ayun. Yeah.
So yan ang mga struggles na hindi alam ng mga tao or yung mga fans who follow you.
Yeah.
Because at that time, they look at you and they see, wow, she achieved it. She reached her dream. Pero you were
Inside.
silently in pain and looking for something bigger than all of this.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that you want to share to the youth who are watching us right now, who's been there or who are going through this stage na you are 16, 17, you want to be known, you want to be famous, you want to pursue a career, you want to enter a band.
Well, one of the things, if I could tell my younger self, siguro, one of the reasons why I was insecure nga and I was sad and didn't really know how to find my way, it's actually very simple. It's I didn't know God loves me. You're not sure, you don't experience that God really does love you and wants to take care of you. You end up striving. Parang kailangan ko gawin to. In-earn ko yan. But when you start to have that relationship with Him and knows that, and know that He loves you, parang He's not about God withholds no good thing from He whose walk is blameless, right? He will not withhold your happiness. He will not withhold the true love that you're seeking. You know what I mean? Yung mga dreams mo, you know, God loves you. I guess that's where I am now in this stage in my life. Like I can enjoy. There's still struggles. There's still problems, you know, but I can parang always find my I guess center. Parang gano'n kay God. Alam ko kasi kung ano man, kung may hindi maganda na nangyari, alam ko may purpose siya eh. God changed pretty much everything, you know, in my life. And one of those things was also school, like my desire to go back to school.
So bumalik ka?
I went back to school. I was the first case. So when I tried to go back, sabi niya, this has never happened before. Nobody's like gotten their leave. I mean, AWOL and did this. And now gustong bumalik. So hindi namin alam gagawin namin sa'yo. Sabi nila, mag-entrance exam ka na lang ulit. Kung pumasa ka, then you can continue your course. So
tinapos mo?
Yeah. So and then it took me 2 years to finish my course. But I was gigging at that time.
Nag-music ka pa rin? Music.
Pero yun nga, wala na masyadong mga kung ano-ano pang extracurricular.
Walang extracurricular.
I would like do my homework in between sets and then, yeah. So just
Pero
really...
happy ka na yung heart mo nun?
Yes, my heart was ano na, yun nga.
At ease?
At ease, at peace na. And I also, from that time, it was like actually 6 years na, sabi ko, God, I don't ever want to be in a relationship na hindi galing sa'yo. It was like that. Just music and my walk with God for 6 years.
And then you met your
and
husband.
So Martin and I went to the same church.
Victory?
For Victory in Alabang. So 3 years kaming
friends?
Hindi nga kami friends eh.
Ano kayo nung time na yon?
Taas kilay acquaintance lang. Uy, kakain kayo sa baba. Oh, kakain. Oh, sige. See you again.
Walang kilig?
Wala.
Paano nag-open yung heart na you looked at him differently?
Hindi ko alam. Pero just some conversations that we had, parang bigla akong nagkaka-crush na talaga sa kanya. But since I had that, those feelings, mas lalo ko siyang nilalayuan. Parang ayoko siyang kausapin.
Nilalayaan mo dahil you're scared?
Because I don't wanna make the same mistakes that I did before. So
It's the fear.
Yeah, it is the fear nga. For some reason, mahihain yan siya. But for some reason, mas lumalapit na siya nung time na yon. Parang nagkakaroon kami ng mga brief conversations.
Puro about God.
Yeah, puro lang about God, about music also. He's also into music eh. And then,
May crush na rin siya sa'yo nun.
I think so. Parang halos sabay kami na we like each other.
Pero ano lang, kinikim-kim. May pagkikim-kim na mga feelings.
And then, well, yung nangyari na pala nito, ganun pala siya, parang, he had the same, something similar was happening din sa kanya, na hindi na siya marunong manligaw. Parang ganun. So, ganun din siya, parang katulungan mo naman ako kung manligaw. Hindi ako, parang ganun. So,
Crush ka na pala niya talaga.
parang, kinakwento niya later na halos sabay kami. And then, so, lumabas kami. After church ka, di ba, barkada kami, nagkayayaan, nag-dinner kami sa isang restaurant. Pagdating doon, nag-order na, ganyan. Yung isa, nakita niya yung family niya sa same restaurant. So, ay, guys, sorry, sama mo na ako sa family ko, nandun sila sa kabilang table. Tapos mamaya-maya, yung isa naman, sabi niya, ay, wait, kailangan ko na umalis kasi kasi tutugtog pa ako
Nag-aalisan,
sa
okay.
next service.
Ano yun?
Walang may alam. Walang may alam.
Sinetop nila yun na may...
No, not at all.
Nagkataon lang.
Nobody knows that I like him, that he like me or anything. We're just one
So,
barkada.
unti-unting nag-aalisan ng mga tao sa
Actually,
table. Okay.
Naiwan kaming dalawa.
Ayun na.
So, para alam mo, as much as I would say that was like romantic, actually no, it was painful.
Kasi?
Because I was so self-conscious.
Awkward.
It was so awkward. It was so painful. Parang kang, right? You know what I mean? It's like,
Anong pag-uusapan?
Oo. Actually, alam mo, pinag-usapan.
Awkward.
Sobrang awkward kami pareho. We're so shy towards each other because we started to like each other na. Kasama kami every Sunday. Minsan, mag-movie kami as a group. Kanyan.
May kilig-kilig na yun.
Oo, kasi nga, I like him na eh. Alam mo yun, syempre parang you like him na, tapos nakikita mo rin he's treating you a bit special,
Differently.
right? Yeah, so...
Alam mo yan.
Pero wala pa siyang sinasabi.
Ayun na, walang sinabi.
Sabi ko, anong gagawin ko dito sa feelings ko na to? Parang, kasi syempre mas nahuhulog ka na, pero wala siyang ginagawa pa rin na...
Ano ang ginawa?
One time, sinamahan niya ako sa gig. Tapos sa backstage kami. Ay biglang nag-alisan yung kasama ko sa room. Biglang tumingin siya sa akin. Serious. Tapos sabi niya, Barb, sabi ko, yes? Sabi niya, nothing. Nothing. Biglang umatras. Parang yun. So na-realize ko, may plano naman pala to. Hindi lang makatiming.
Na-torpe. Hindi, pag gusto ka talaga ng lalaki, alam mo. Ako, feeling ko ganun. Pag gusto talaga, ikaw ng isang lalaki and pure yung pagkagusto sa'yo, may torpe. Nakakaduda yung...
Masyadong fresh,
yung parang presko agad. Like you.
Parang professional eh.
Parang alam mo nung, parang praktisado na to
okay yan,
Pero yung parang hindi ka alam i-approach, parang feeling ko yun ang talagang gusto
mas
ka.
sincere, yay. Ayun, and then it was October. By December, nag-ano na siya.
Nag-profess.
Yeah, he already, yeah. And actually...
Paano niya sinabi? I like you? I love you?
No. Sabi niya, have you noticed that lately I've been prioritizing you?
I've been prioritizing you!
Sabi niya sa akin, ayun nga, parang, is that okay? Sabi niya, kasi I just wanna make habits. I wanna make this into a habit. Like that I wanna get used to, because I wanna keep doing this for, yun nga, parang,
For you.
for a long time, or parang ganyan-ganyan. So sabi ko sa kanya, yes, please. Siyempre, torpe.
Maintain the habit.
Tinulungan ko na lang siya.
So, tuloy-tuloy na.
Yeah, by April, we got engaged na. Then we got married in May.
December, January, February, March, April nagpo-propose.
So 6 years of just me and God, Pero when God wrote the story, it was very quick, It was like...
He cleaned your heart first bago niya binigay yung right man for you.
Yeah.
Para pag together na kayo, di ba?
Yeah.
It's
Praise
two
God.
whole people.
Although, of course, it's still a work in progress.
It's a work
Yes.
in
As we
progress.
know.
17 years of marriage.
Yeah.
You think you know it all?
Yeah.
Di ba 17 years?
Yes.
Grabe yung
17.
17 years.
God is so good. I mean, man, like that, 17 years, something I couldn't have imagined or do on my own. You know.
So if you were to finish the sentence, 2024 ngayon, 27 years in the music industry, 17 years married, 2 beautiful children, Barbie, Almalbis, Honasan is.
Wow. I am just a recipient of God's grace. God is so good. He loves me. Yeah. Medyo nagigilty pa ako kasi punta ako ng church, gagawin ako sarili ko, God, ikaw ang punta ko dito. Hindi siya. Kasi,
Hindi silay.
Kasi every time I go to church, alam ko na,
May silay.
my favorite church, chair siya, di ba? Sabi ko, alam ko na may preaching dyan. Parang dyan siya nakaupo. So aware ka, nandito ka nakikinig.
Kay God, pero may konting silay on the side.
Andun yung flash sa likod, ganyan. God, ikaw yung punta ko dito, ganyan.
Maganda siya talaga. Alam mo si God, maganda magsulat ng love story.
Yeah.
May trivia tayo. Father-in-law ni Barbie, si Senator Gringo Honasan.
Yeah, napanood ko yung episode nyo.
Grabe! Nalaman ko, father-in-law mo pala. Ang ating historic Gringo Honasan.
Hello.
Part of
Hello,
history.
Papa, Mama.
Oo. Paano siya as a father-in-law?
He's very, I can't ask for a better father. No, he's really a wonderful person and really kind and doting grandfather. Parang siya, karinyo brutal sa mga niya. Pwede niya kagatin yung mga tenga, kakagatin niya.